All right, on to politics. CNN amending its GOP debate criteria, clearing the way for Carly Fiorina to be on the main stage on September 16th. So take a listen to the moment when the presidential candidate found out about this.
Literally, as we're speaking, I just got a text that CNN has amended their GOP debate criteria.
Shut up! Does that mean you're going to be on the debate stage?
Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina joins us now. Good morning, Ms. Fiorina.
Good morning, Allison. How are you?
I'm doing well. I see that we're catching you at Reagan National Airport on your way from campaign stop to campaign stop. But I want to ask you about that moment. That seemed like a fun moment there with Meghan McCain when you found out about it.
Yes, I loved her reaction. Shut up. But anyway, I literally got a text on my phone as we were speaking. And obviously, I'm enormously gratified and pleased that CNN did the right thing here. I'm the only candidate who has moved clearly from the bottom tier to the top tier. I'm now in the top 5 in every statewide poll and easily in the top 10 in national polls. In fact, I was number 4 in the latest national poll. So I'm really looking forward to being on that debate stage.
Well, there you go. I mean, everybody, it was as a result of your performance, they say, in the first debate, that you have seen that rise. So you're certain now that on September 16th, you will be on the primetime stage.
Yes, I'm quite certain, given the polling results that we have seen and will, I think, continue to see. I'm quite certain and looking very much forward to it.
Okay, let's talk about what's happening today. Donald Trump has this meeting with the RNC chair, Reince Priebus, and apparently Reince Priebus is going to ask Donald Trump to sign this pledge that we have here, affirming that he will not run as a third-party candidate. Have you received this pledge from the RNC?
Yes, we have. My office received it, I believe, yesterday. I certainly will sign it. I've actually already signed something similar when we entered into data sharing agreements with the RNC, as I believe have many other candidates. And I certainly think that Donald Trump should sign such a pledge.
But I mean, let's be honest. This is an interesting gimmick. It's fun to watch all of the candidates sign this pledge, but it's just a flimsy piece of paper. I mean, it's unenforceable. And why do you need to sign this pledge? Sometimes Republicans and Democrats have run as third-party candidates. Why not this year?
Well, I think, first of all, you're right. It's unenforceable. It is, more than anything else, your word. And I would presume that somebody running for president would like to signal to the American people, and most especially right now to Republican primary voters, that their word can be trusted. And I think the point is that if you're going to run as a Republican in a Republican primary, then you're declaring that you are a Republican. It's not simply a run of convenience. This is about, hopefully, some degree of principle here. So we'll see what Mr. Trump does.
Let me ask you about this sparring that's been going on the Republican side among some of your opponents, particularly Donald Trump and Jeb Bush. They've been having a war of words, and it continues. Donald Trump said in a Breitbart interview about Jeb speaking Spanish on the campaign trail, "I like Jeb. He's a nice man, but he should really set the example by speaking English while in the United States." What do you think about that statement?
Well, first, I think Donald Trump and Jeb Bush are going at it as front runners are going to do in a presidential campaign. I mean, I recall over the last couple of days, Martin O'Malley protesting at the DNC meeting because he wants a chance to go at Hillary Clinton. I mean, I think this is what politics is about. I also think, look, I admire the fact that Jeb Bush is multilingual. I admire the fact that so many people are multilingual, and I also think that English is the official language of the United States.
But do you think it's rude for Donald Trump? Do you think it's a winning strategy for Donald Trump to say that Jeb Bush, who is bilingual, should just speak English?
Donald Trump has said many things that I don't agree with and a few that I do agree with. So I think it's fair to say that Mr. Trump is going to continue to do what Mr. Trump does, which is say all kinds of things, some of which are shocking, a few of which are outrageous, and many of which people agree with because they're angry and frustrated.
Is it fun for you? Maybe fun is the wrong word. Is it interesting for you to sit back and watch this food fight among the front runners, or is it a little uncomfortable to see what's going on in your party?
Well, I think it goes on in every presidential campaign. I will remember there were plenty of food fights between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama in 2008, and I suspect we're going to continue to see food fights on both sides. It is a little bit what politics is about. On the other hand, I don't get asked questions from voters about Donald Trump or anyone else, frankly. The questions that I get asked about from voters are, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about Obamacare? What are you going to do about Iran? What are you going to do about ISIS? What are you going to do about an out-of-control government? Frankly, the people who ask me questions about Donald Trump and other candidates are the media, not the voters.
All right, let's talk about some of those issues as you bring them up. It is the year of the outsider, obviously, and you are an outsider. You're not a career politician, obviously, and you tout your record as a businesswoman at the helm of Hewlett-Packard for many years as part of why voters should elect you. But your tenure was hardly considered a runaway success. Let me read for you how the DNC categorizes what you did as the head of Hewlett-Packard. They say she negotiated a merger with Compaq where 30,000 Hewlett-Packard employees lost their jobs. Then she negotiated a $40 million golden parachute after she was fired. Here's Carly Fiorina's policy record, an affinity for sending American jobs overseas. What do you say to people who say that so many people lost their jobs under your tenure?
Well, of course, you are reading the DNC talking points. And here's the thing about business, unlike politics. In business, the results are crystal clear, reported in excruciating detail every 90 days. And I had to stand up and explain those results every 90 days. If I misrepresented them in any way, I was criminally liable. Imagine if we held politicians to that standard. So here's the record. Here are the facts. I led HP through the worst technology recession in 25 years. And yes, in order to save a company, sadly, we had to cut some jobs. But we saved 80,000 jobs, went on to grow to 160,000 jobs, and now Hewlett-Packard is 300,000 jobs. Meanwhile, some of our competitors literally went out of business, and all those jobs were lost. As well, we doubled the size of the business to almost $90 billion. We quadrupled its growth rate of revenues. We tripled innovation to 15 patents a day. We quadrupled cash flow. We went from lagging behind in every product in every market to leading in every product in every market. I'll run on that record all day long. Every single aspect of my pay was approved by shareholders ahead of time. And yep, I was fired in a boardroom brawl about which I have been very candid and clear from the day it happened. And I was fired in that boardroom brawl because when you lead, you challenge the status quo. And when you do that, you make enemies. And that's part of the price of leadership. But I want to tell you something, Allison. There are a lot of voters out there who would like a leader with the strength and the courage and the track record to actually hold government employees accountable. Just today, we learned that over 300,000 veterans have lost their lives waiting for appointments. I actually think there are a few people at the VA who ought to lose their jobs.
How does your record and everything that you've just outlined translate to what you would do about America's problems? Let's talk about the one that is on the front burner in terms of immigration. You've heard what Donald Trump has said. You've heard now what Chris Christie has said, that he thinks that immigrants can be tracked like FedEx packages on some level. What's your answer to the immigration issue?
Well, let's start with the basics. And this is where a track record of turning words into results matters so much. We have been talking about the border for 25 years. For 25 years, the border has been insecure. This is absurd. This is a fall down of a basic government responsibility. We have to secure the border, period. It takes money, yes, manpower, yes, technology, yes, but mostly apparently.
And how would you do that?
It takes political willpower and leadership.
And is that with a fence?
This isn't rocket science, Allison.
But how would you do it?
No. This is not rocket science. It takes money, manpower, and technology. San Francisco has been a sanctuary city since 1989. We now have 300 of them. Every presidential cycle, we talk about immigration, and yet nothing changes. This is why people are upset. So what I would say to voters is, vote for someone who has a track record, not just of talking, but of doing. Because what I will do is ensure that we actually secure the border. What I will do is ensure that we actually fix the legal immigration system, which has been broken for 25 years and is a contributory to the problem. Well, let's just say, for example, we hand out Mexican border crossing cards every single day. We have no idea whether those people go home. wow. We have 16 different visa programs. We don't have an employer verification system that works, therefore we can't make it mandatory. We're the most sophisticated technological nation on the planet. I understand something about technology. It is not difficult to create an employer verification system that works. We just haven't done it, just like we just haven't fixed the VA over 20 years, so 300,000 veterans die waiting for an appointment. This is about ineptitude and corruption in the federal government.
And what is your answer for the roughly 12 million illegal, undocumented immigrants who are here? What would you do with them?
What I have said consistently over 5 years almost now is, first, we must secure the border to reinstill faith in the American people in their government.
A lot of your opponents agree with that.
We must fix. Second, we must fix the legal immigration system, because the legal immigration system is contributing to the illegal problem. And finally, for those who have come here illegally and stayed here illegally, assuming they're not criminals, in which case they have to leave the country, assuming they paid back taxes, etc., I do not believe they earn a pathway to citizenship. There must be consequence for breaking the law. They can earn a pathway to legal status under certain circumstances so that they can work. But citizenship is a privilege to be earned. And I know too many people, as do you, Hispanics among them, who have studied our history, raised their hands, taken the oath, and earned the privilege of citizenship. And I don't think you can say to them, never mind, somebody who broke the rules gets the same privilege that you do.
Carly Fiorina, thanks so much for being on New Day. We always enjoy talking to you, and we will look forward to September 16th and the CNN debate.
Me too. Thanks, Allison. Have a great day.
You too.